For athletic flow for November, we've got the isometric hold for the side lever. So using the ring, if you've just got a ring, you just have it hanging dead. Easy version, you just keep one foot down and then you're going to take this arm out and then hold that line there. Then you can shorten the lever and do it like that and then straighten that lever out. To make that one more challenging, you use a weight, dumbbell, like any type of weight, and you counterbalance the outside so it makes it easier to lift up on the inside. And that's just going to strengthen down that side line. So you're doing 15-second hold. Now if you're fortunate enough to have it set up like this, you can do it in poles. The pole is a harder hold. You have that reverse grip like that, pulling with the top arm, pushing with the bottom arm. So you have your low set up like this. It's quite good. You're thinking of just getting that pull on the top arm, pushing with the bottom arm, and using that inside leg to spot to feel that line. That works quite well, just getting a basic hold there if you're teaching groups as well. Then from there, you just want to stack, when you're doing these especially, you want to stack the middle fingers up. Otherwise, if you're slightly off, it's like a door that's off its hinges, it'll just sway to one side. So you want to get that nice stack, get that nice straight line, lift that outside leg and just spot with the inside to start. You can bring that one in and then heavier to bring the legs together and get that straight line. You're trying to get like a full 45-degree hold and 15 seconds aside. Quite hard down that oblique line, and you're really trying to push away with the bottom arm, pull with the top one. Now it does take time for the hand, the wrist, the shoulder, the elbow, all of that to get conditioned, so don't rush it. Don't force this one, and there is quite a lot of pressure through into the neck as well when you're trying to come out more. So really give your body time to condition it. For me, I have to really kind of go easy with the harder versions on the flag now because of the pressure in my neck. I can do, a certain amount, but then after I, kind of when I'm doing the straddle ones and upside down and lowering down and raising up and stuff like that, there's so much force that goes into it. I tend to be okay when I'm doing it when I'm warm, and in the next couple of days I'll feel tight. So I've got to really progress slowly and build it back up again. I had a good run there for a couple of years where I could just do them all the time and it felt effortless. And then all of a sudden just the accumulation of all the different conditioning, front lever, back lever, the side lever, the press the handstand, all of that are just, there's only so much your body can take unless you're building it up properly, and if you rush it, it'll tend to bite you back. So now I'm just enjoying doing the basic versions and just building them up again to get that conditioning. Luckily this time around that it's much easier on the forearms and the hands, but I remember the first time I did these, like just that stretch through there, that burning feeling was pretty heavy getting that alignment, so it's really getting that lat to open up, and just the pressure in the bottom hand, you do it and then you take your hand off and you just feel like this kind of really deep pressure that was going into the forearm. But yeah, if you don't have this type of setup, you're still going to get that nice conditioning off that one arm and get that nice lateral conditioning as well. So it's still a great exercise. So the cartwheel progressions for November, really simple. Remember your starting point is just trying to get in from that squat, get one hand down, rotate, pivot on the foot, put the second hand, and then come around. It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that, and just getting lighter at that, and just get that stretch. You can skip across, you get more of a tuck as you go across, so just kind of tuck, and down, and then you're going more over the top. And then you're just trying to control that so it feels better. You can do more of the acro style ones that we do on the Saturday workout in here, but this one's cool. Like, you really want to work towards getting that nice control there in that side flag position, and just getting that to go over and lowering down into it. Obviously the ultimate is to not have to pop up at all, and feel more and more control through your oblique line and getting that kind of strengthening with your handstand halfway across. So working on that. And then the single leg box hop is pretty challenging. The start with you can just go from one leg to the other, so you're just skipping and landing on that. Your next step would be to skip up and land on both feet, like that, and then working towards using that arm swing, getting that same time landing, and then you want to use the double arm swing and get up and control that. It's pretty heavy. You don't need to go too high, you're just trying to get that nice explosiveness off one foot and get that control. It is challenging, but yeah, go through that process. Go from one leg to the other, go from one leg to landing on both, and try and get them both to land at the same time, and then work on one leg to one leg. If you don't have a box, you can just do a single leg jump and try and stick that landing without touching the heel. Would be great. It is quite challenging compared to a double leg, a lot heavier. But if you've been doing the single leg calf raises, then you've kind of pre-conditioned yourself for that as well. So the extra add-on for this workout, we're going to do the dislocate. So just using the reverse grip. You can just use a band for this if you don't have a dowel rod or a stick or a PVC pipe. So you're just going to keep that underhand grip like that. Don't have to go too narrow. Feeling those shoulders shrug around the rib cage. So I shrug right forward, shrug right up, retract back, and then come down. I want to gradually move them closer or add load to make it harder. Getting 5 to 10 clean reps. The rest between that is just doing straight calf raises, turn out calf raises for 5, turn in for 5, inversion, eversion for 5, and then the toe crunches. It's really important to keep those healthy for the suspension system, but you're doing that at the end of the workout. So in the class here, when we're doing this current month, so I'm filming next month now, but in the class today, so we went through the 4 rounds of the side lever variation was actually Makaku this month, and then the figure 8 sprint rest, 4 rounds of that. And then straight away after, I just give people like a 6-beat cutoff. But most of the time they're finishing a bit quicker than that. They just did 10 dislocates and calf raise sequence, 10 dislocates, calf raise, and one more set of dislocates. This month, November, just using the underhand grip, so it's slightly different, but just to get a bit more of a stretch through the forearm and condition it and keep a bit of variation there, but gradually work on improving that dislocate. Now, that dislocate is really going to be helpful for all the what they call soft acrobatics, so all that kind of rotational acrobatics, where it's Makaku, where it's a front flip variation, where it's the rotational Melu Tukuluna, the one where you go around the back. They all use that same arm action to allow you to keep one leg on the ground, or one arm on the ground when you're pushing, to really push away to get that nice motion. So condition those, get into it. Remember to send through your videos to get some feedback, especially with this stuff. It's pretty technical as opposed to the basic pull-push legs and the kind of more square stuff when you're adding in the rotational elements to these, or going from one side of the body to the other, like in the cartwheels. It's a lot more complex, and there's a left and right side as well. There's an opportunity for imbalances. When you submit videos, if you're doing something that's one sided, always submit left and right side so I can compare left and right, and it also will help improve your overall health and athletic ability if you can make both sides balanced. So get into it, see you soon.